All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Stink Kramer with Brian the Grizzly, and we have back with us Zach Attacks Reviews. How's it going, guys?
Good, man. Hi,
Yeah,
everyone.
Feeling good, feeling great. We all got
all right.
glasses on. This is great.
Yeah, I forgot to take them off, and I was like, whatever, glasses gang.
Yeah, just fit in today. So today we are talking about another Oscar movie. We already did another one with Zach, so make sure you go check that one out. But today we are talking about American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright. All that.
Sterling K. Brown,
Sterling K.
Eric
Brown,
Alexander, Issa Rae,
Issa Rae is a big
Tracy
one.
Ellis Ross.
Yes.
Keith David was a surprise in this movie. I
Yeah.
loved. I did not see that coming. That was crazy. But a quick breakdown, a quick synopsis of what the movie is before we get into it is Monk, which is Jeffrey Wright's character. Monk is a frustrated novelist who's fed up with the establishment that profits from black entertainment that relies on a tired and offensive tropes. To prove his point, he uses a pen name to write an outlandish black book of his own, a book that propels him to the heart of hypocrisy and the madness he claims to disdain. So that is really good. Actually, a really good synopsis of it without getting into spoilers. So we are going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, hit pause. I believe it's on Amazon, I think now, or
Is it?
I think so. I could be wrong. It's out. It's out. You can go and watch it.
Rent it. Yeah.
You can rent it at home.
Yeah.
But so go check it out and then come back and let's talk about this. But we're gonna get into spoilers. Zach, what you think about this movie?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I think I ranked it number 15 for me all year.
Oh wow.
I think that Jeffrey Wright is well deserving of a Best Actor nom. He did a great job holding this film down throughout because it was centralized on him. But what I think is the most brilliant about this film and what I took away from it is the whole he was tired of seeing books and media showcasing all the stereotypes of black people, but the movie about that was centered around his life, which was the real part, was like a black movie we don't get to see. And I think that's what's brilliant about the film. So this whole side of the film is like, oh my God, he's doing this crazy book that's working and everyone's loving it. But then he's dealing with his mom deteriorating, his brother, and all these different family things he didn't know about his father. We don't get to see black films like that in the theater at all. You might get a little bit on TV, but the fact that they were able to do this outlandish story of this man writing a book under a synonym and then it just like blowing up and him dealing with that while also at the same time him living the life and we're seeing it that he's talking about he wants to see on screen. I thought that was just amazing. Plus all the performances. Tracy Ellis Ross, Sterling K. Brown was hilarious throughout the film and also brought tears to my eyes at the same time. He's just a phenomenal actor. And I think the filmmaking, I think a lot of people aren't talking about I think the writer and director, I think he wrote and directed the film. I think Cord Jefferson. Yeah, Cord Jefferson. Someone I'm going to be on the lookout for now because he did a great job directing and writing this.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
I thought it was so well done. Yes, wonderful actors, actresses, written very well. But once again, like I speak on this a lot. Black people aren't just one thing. There's so many different shades. There's so many different type of people. They're good. There's bad. There's straight. There's gay. There's family people. There are people that are ostracized. There are people that are loners. There are people that all that. And I love any film that highlights that you cannot pigeonhole me into just one thing. And I think that was the first and most important thing. Then the second thing was the idea of family. Though, yes, you don't always like your family, but you love your family. And they are there for you. And even when they don't like you, they're going to tell you the truth. They still have your back. That was cool. Then I thought it was brilliantly done. So at the end, when you start seeing like, oh, wait a minute, the ending's going to change this way. Why? Because this is a movie about what I already did about this movie. Like, it's so ingenious. I thought it's almost too smart for people because I saw a lot of people reviewing. They're like, what happened? What's going on? I'm like, it's simple what's happening, but it's so smart. It's just like Thelonious. He's so smart, you know. And sometimes when you're that smart, you get ostracized, you get alienated, and you're lonely. And I think this movie didn't get the support it needed because of those things. But this is a great movie, and if you have a chance just to watch it, I think it really move you to do it. With less than 2 hours to really enjoy a smartly made movie. When I think Academy Awards, this is the type of movie that I think of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the acting, with the directing, with the thoughtfulness and the multiple layers. That's the type of movie I want. So I loved it.
Yeah. Even had some like funny parts, you know, parts that you probably like shouldn't be laughing at, but they're making it so outrageous that like it does make it funny, you know, where it's like, you know, where like, yeah, you know, and it's kind of crazy because I know like you were on somebody else's show a while ago and talking about like, oh, like racism isn't funny. I was like, it's not, but when you poke at the absurdity of what people think when it comes to racism, that's the funny part of it. You know, it isn't the actual racism itself. It's
but
the
when you're
absurdity
sharing
of
the
it.
joke with the audience, like you see how stupid this is, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
smartly
exactly.
done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the
But
funeral scene. I think that
Mhm.
exemplifies it perfectly what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know, or even just when he's in the room, like I said, with Keith David, where he's writing and then it starts acting out on there. And it's like, I'm like, oh, this is a movie that like we all seen because it's a trope at this point, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he goes so hard into the paint with it, you know, that it starts becoming like funny, you know, in a sense, you know, especially like the longer it goes on. And I kind of wish I got more of that, you know, like more him writing and we got like the craziness of what he was writing. But I enjoyed that because like the whole movie tackles, you know, stereotypes and tropes, you know, where either a black movie is either slaves or gang related, you know, like that's it. You know, and this one was just like a family dealing with normal family stuff, you know, and you know, whether it be like an elderly family member, you know, passing a family member, families not communicating for whatever reason and stuff, you know, it becomes an issue, especially when they start becoming, they're all well educated, which I love. I think they were all doctors, like all the siblings were all doctors, you know, so they all had, some had better money than others, but they all had money, including the parents. And you know, and that comes with problems, you know. So I thought that was great, and exactly what Zach said. It was the movie he wanted to tell in his books, but no one wanted to see, you know. So it was very meta on that, you know. But then we still got the trope that they were able to poke fun of, you know, because it was so absurd on how even when Issa Rae did her reading on stage and how just outlandish it was, how crazy it was, you know, and she gets a standing ovation and it's just so bonkers of it. And this movie, like Brian said, it's so well done. It's so great with the layers of it all. And I was excited to see the movie because the trailer looked great. And after seeing this movie, I was just like completely blown away. I was like, this is how you make a great movie, you know, that has a good message and I think an important message and stuff like that. Speaking of like message, my favorite scene was when Issa Rae and Jeffrey Wright are sitting on one side of the table and they're arguing. They're like, hey, I don't think this is a thing that we should be telling. Meanwhile, the three white people on the other side, they're like, well, I think it's important that black voices are being heard right now, while they're annoying the only black voices in the room.
Exactly.
That's how smart this movie was. And then the way it was framed down the table, you know, and segregation with the two black characters and the rest of the white characters. Oh my God, man. It was just so well done on so many levels. It was so good. Yeah, man. I absolutely fell in love with this movie. So what else is also obviously best picture, that's why we're talking about it. But it is also up for best writing, adapted screenplay with the Cord Jefferson, like Zach said. It's also Jeffrey Wright's up for best leading role actor. Sterling K. Brown is up for supporting role. And music, best score, which is cool, and best picture. So the music, I have to go back and pay attention. I don't
really remember the music that much.
I have no idea.
No. But it is disappointing. I think Sterling K. Brown just came out today and said he doesn't think he's gonna win. You know, he thinks Robert Downey Jr. is gonna win. You
Oh, he
know,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely
Which he's
is.
probably right, but
Yeah.
it is like
I think Sterling K. Brown will
sucks.
win, but the problem is that he was not in the movie enough. I think
enough.
that's what. I think that's
Yeah.
where they're going. That's what the argument's going to be. Like, oh, he was only in the movie a full total 16 minutes of
Yeah.
screen time. I
I
think
feel
that's
like Robert Downey Jr. was in that movie for 16 minutes, and it was 3 hours.
Yeah, when you do percentage wise, right?
I feel
Yeah.
like if anything, he was in it for 20 minutes. He like popped in and out, and it was
but
like
he
the
was
end of the
throughout the
film when
entire
he was a
movie.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie, and at the end he got probably 15 minutes. But throughout the movie, he got a little time. So people are going to say, "Well, this scene has him in it. This scene has him in it." But every scene that Sterling K. Brown was in was stolen by Sterling K. Brown.
Yes.
Like it was
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. I don't like this is 100% a spoiler. My favorite scene with him was the hug. That hug was just like all his childhood, all his trauma, everything balled up in that one hug. You know, from what she wasn't really. She was like she wasn't a family member, but she was like almost like family. But she was like the caregiver and stuff
Lorraine,
like that.
she was a family member, basically. Lorraine was.
Yeah, I mean, at that
she
point.
wasn't, but she was.
Yeah,
that was part of their family, and
yeah.
her acceptance helped
Mhm.
everyone accept each other, and I think that
Exactly.
was also another wonderful part of the movie.
I think to piggyback off that, the fact that he was the one that suggested to fire her, and then for her to be the one to do the hug
Yes.
later,
Yep.
shows, brilliant writing,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. It's
Even
like
though
it's so well
I
done.
was shocked by Tracy Ellis Ross, I did not see that coming at all.
Oh my god, no!
I was like,
Because-
this is good. This is good. What's going on?
Her. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That threw
Sister.
me for a loop. I was like, did I miss something?
Because you think the movie's going one way, and then it gives you an interesting twist, and then it just completely changes, and it's
That's also a thing. Like sometimes that stuff is sudden.
yeah.
It's not always a build up to death, like how they do it in the movie. Sometimes it's like, oh, your sister's just not here anymore,
Just
and
happened.
they had an underlying issue that you didn't even know because he was so busy trying to change the world, he forgot to protect his own.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, definitely. So the question I ask is, does this deserve to win Best Picture out of all 10 movies? What do you think, Zach?
I think honestly, when I did my predictions, I had it as a dark horse. I think the two front runners is Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon. But I feel like Poor Things and this movie are dark horses. I think that Poor Things may be a little too weird, so that's why American Fiction I will put a little bit above it in terms of like maybe squeezing in. If the Oppenheimer doesn't win it, like I think it's gonna win, but I think it well deserved. Like even though it's in my top 15, when I think about Oscars and I take out like the non-Oscar movies out of my top 15, it's easily in my top 5. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I have like Mission Impossible. That's not going to be an Oscar film.
Yeah.
I have Wonka. That's not going to be an Oscar film. I have Godzilla -1. Clearly, Guardians. Stuff like that is in my top 15. That's not Oscar level. Huh?
Put some respect on Godzilla -1.
Hey, it's in my top 15. I respect that movie, but it wasn't going to be nominated for Best Picture. I don't think the acting in it was going to be recognized because it was kind of melodramatic a little bit, but still a great movie. But so when you remove movies like that, it's easily in there. When it's just like when you take away like the enjoyment factor, because sometimes Oscar movie is great, but I didn't enjoy it like I would like a Hunger Games. But this easily deserves it in terms. It deserves it for recognition for how these. I saw a rant online recently about like how Black people always talk about what they want to see different types of movies and shows, and we're tired of the stereotypes. It's like, well, why didn't you go support this? Why does not make 10, 15, 20, $30 million? Why Book of Clarence did it make that money? Why did Color Purple not make that money? Even though I don't like that movie, but still, it had a bunch of ensemble stars. Those are the type of films we got to support so they can do it again. Just go support these movies. Seek them out. Don't be like, oh, I didn't see the trailer. You know they don't show our trailers like that. Go look what's coming out this week. Oh, Black movie. Let me go check it out. It might suck, but it might be great. And you just got to take that chance. Just go support these movies, man. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay. All right. Well, you, Brian, does this deserve the win?
It is my favorite of all these movies, period. Like of
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
movies that are up to this category, this is my favorite of all the movies.
Yeah.
I just think it screams Oscar worthy movie. Oppenheimer is one of those great movies that I probably like. I'll buy and I'll see scenes, but I'll never need to watch the entire movie again. This movie I've already watched 3 times, so like, it just tells you enough about it right there. You know, I feel like I was missing things, and I see new things every single time I'm watching it because there's so many layers. That is what an Oscar movie, what a worthy movie should be, and just in definition. So I think this is exactly what it should be. This should be something that wins, and I hope that it does. Even though Oppenheimer is going to have, it'd be a shoe in, but we'll see.
Steal the show probably. It's gonna steal the whole Academy Award this year, which is
sweet.
Kind of whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I'm right there with you. It instantly became a top 3 movie for me, and for the whole year. And it's above all the other ones. I want it to win. I would love to see it to win. I think that would send a message to the world, really, if it did win. But it's gonna be Oppenheimer. You know, like
that negative reaction is gonna be nuts.
But if it were to win,
if it wins, those people, you know what I'm talking about. Thumbnail people.
Yeah,
that's why I started calling them the thumbnail people.
They'll be like, who? What movie?
I like that.
Where? Why? How?
Yeah. Hollywood's going woke.
Yup.
Exactly.
Woke is here to stay.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Jeffrey Wright?
Yeah, I'd never seen him before.
Even though he was in Batman.
He came out of nowhere. I never seen
him.
Let me watch What If.
Westworld.
Yeah, Westworld. Yeah.
So much crap. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I hope he wins Best Actor. I think if it wasn't for Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, he probably would win it. Paul Giamatti is a second close one, but it's gonna be Cillian Murphy again. Oppenheimer. But if it wasn't for him, Giamatti and Wright are gonna be so close together. So close together. But
who else is in there? Other than them?
Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti, Holdovers, Cillian Murphy, and Jeffrey Wright.
I still need to see Rustin. It's like Nyad and Rustin. I think those are the only 2 movies I haven't seen that's on the Oscar nominations.
On the list. Yeah. But cool. Yeah, that's our thoughts for the American Fiction. And I think it is an important movie that we're actually going to do a Black Excellence on this one for this month, and that's a brand new movie that we're doing. We already did Book of Clarence with Dr. Waller, or Dr. B. Yeah, he's his tag, so I'll call him by that.
I just recorded one with Malcolm X with Anzo, so we recorded that, and we'll be doing that soon.
But so this one we'll definitely be doing American Fiction in the Black Excellence, because it hits on a lot of the points of being an excellent movie with a bunch of great Black actors and importance to the culture and everything like that. So definitely get Brian's dad back on, because I know he wants to talk about it. So definitely, if he wants to talk about it, we're talking about it. So that's gonna be a fun one. So be on the lookout for that, which will be a different conversation about the movie. This is more about the movie itself, and that's gonna be more about the
cultural
importance of the movie.
Importance.
Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye out for that later this month. But appreciate everyone coming in, checking us out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you want to see more videos like this, and also go check out Zach Attacks. You want to give a quick shout out to your channel, Zach?
Yeah, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Zach Attack News Live. Cover everything in entertainment. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, old school movie reviews, and more. Come check me out.
Cool. Yeah. So I'll put a link right above Brian's head for Zach, and also in the description. Go click that link. He's on his way to 1,000. So we got to get that man to 1,000 like ASAP. So he deserves it. But appreciate everyone checking us out. Thank you so much. Be on the lookout for the rest of the Best Picture nominations. We're going to be going through all those as well. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys in the next video.